Myth 2. Batteries wear out and we have to throw them away. Ah, yes, that thorny old question. Well, at this point, I reach a rather delicate and difficult point in the history of fully charged. In the past, having a pop at the Top Gear chaps was good sport. It was pointless but fun, like an ant shouting at an elephant. But since the chump who thumped for rump debacle of the Top Gear brand, it doesn't really feel the same anymore. It's more like I'm the school bully who's gone outside the gates and is kicking a toddler down the street. It's just not right. However, there is a point to all this, because when Big Mr. C reviewed the Nissan Leaf, a car which he loved driving by the way, he did say that the battery was the big problem. He said, and I quote, "The problem with this car is the owner's going to have to throw the battery away after 3 years." Well, interestingly, that episode was recorded 3 years ago, and the woman who bought the actual model of the Nissan Leaf that Jeremy Clarkson drove lives in London. So I thought I'd pop along to see her and see if, after 3 years, she'd thrown away her battery. Hello, Blanco, Robert.
Right,
hi.
Good morning.
Hi, I've come to see your car.
Okay,
Yeah.
then let me grab my coat.
Yeah, you'll need a coat. It's quite cold.
Straight in.
Okay. So is this your car here, Blanca?
Indeed, that's my
Right.
Nissan Leaf.
Looking very, very smart and tidy. So what made you choose an electric car though in the first place?
Well, as you can see, I live in central London. I work in central London, and so there are lots of advantages to electric cars. You don't pay congestion, you get free parking, zero emissions, and quite honestly, this car drives beautifully. It's like
right.
good, nice maneuvering and.
Right. So there was a lot of talk in the early days about the batteries and whether the batteries would wear out. Have you had any problems with the batteries in your car?
No, as I say again, most of my driving is done within London.
Right.
So there are plenty of charging points. I charge it at home and I charge it at work.
Right.
And so, no, it also tells you pretty much how far you can go.
Yeah. So you can charge at work as well. That's a big advantage then. So when the car's parked at work, it's charging there.
Yes.
And do they make you pay for that?
Yeah, I actually have to pay £6 a month from my salary for,
Right.
20 working days a month.
Yeah, £6. That's not too bad, actually, is it? That's cheap. It's cheaper than if you were buying petrol every day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was spending about £150 on petrol before I bought it.
Right.
A month, yeah.
So it's gone from £150 a month on fuel to £6.
Yes.
That's not bad.
But
I suppose you're also paying a bit at home as well, but do you charge it overnight at home? Is that usually when it's plugged in?
I charge it mostly at work, and
Right.
then because we have a secure underground car park,
Right.
and it charges, obviously, I'm there like eight hours.
So it's full when you leave work?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, did you know that your car's a bit famous?
I didn't know at first. No, I didn't know when I bought it.
Right.
I found out since.
So it was the actual car that they used on Top Gear when they reviewed the car on Top Gear, which is quite intriguing because I didn't know that either until this morning.
Yes.
Quite...
Well, of course, as soon as I found out, I went and watched the episode.
Yeah. And what did you think of his opinion of the car?
Well, I guess they were trying to make it funny,
Yeah.
but I think there's really horses for courses.
All in all, I think it's fair to say that this journey has put a lot of the myths about batteries in electric vehicles to bed. The fantastic Nissan Leaf that I've been driving around all day is proof positive that battery technology is reliable and electric vehicles are the future. And just one other little bit of information. This is Wizzy, the Nissan Leaf taxi run by C&C Taxis in St Austell, Cornwall. It recently passed 100,000 miles and it's only 2 years old. The battery is still at 98% of its original capacity, and the company has saved an estimated £17,000 in fuel and servicing costs in that time. So the conclusion is the batteries will last long enough for any of us. There is only one thing I think we can be certain of in the near future, and that is that batteries will get cheaper and they'll get more energy dense, smaller, lighter, more powerful. Everything else in the future, as we all know, is up for grabs. So if you have been, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.